Do you think it could have been political?
At the time I said no, because at the time the Beige Book was saying you better be cutting rates, and companies were laying off, and the bankruptcy cycle was accelerating. All of those circumstances exist today. They're just worse. And so at the time I advocated for the Fed being apolitical, but satisfying its need to minimize inflation and maximize employment and cut rates. The fact that they're not cutting rates right now, however, is beginning to look very political to me. And disturbingly so. I've been highly critical in the research that I've published over the last several Fed meetings because just to take one example, the Beige Book came out and said all 12 Federal Reserve districts see weakening demand for labor. The Beige Book is much worse than it was in September of 2024 when they pushed through a 0.5 percentage point rate cut, and yet the Fed is ignoring it. The University of Michigan, 64% of Americans think that the unemployment rate is going to rise in 12 months' time. That number was a fraction of what it is today back in September of 2024. So in other words, the data is a lot worse, and yet the Fed is dismissing it. And if they're supposed to be data dependent, the only explanation for the Fed not moving, again, we've got truflation, TRU-flation at 1.88%, and we've got other real-time inflation metrics that are disinflationary right now. So the only explanation that you have right now for the Fed not easing monetary policy, as is the case with so many other central banks worldwide, is because they're doing it to harm the current administration.